static images. And before actually learning how to create prompts that I use for my reels that are quite complicated, not that much, but still it has parameters, it has image references, it has mood boards. So to get to this stage of knowing AI prompts, I suggest to start from scratch, to start from the basics, and to learn how to do the simple prompts, and then we will learn the parameters, because it's a very useful and very interesting thing in Midjourney. And then we will get back to creating visually stunning results with models, with architecture, and just aesthetic pictures. So starting from the base, and we need to understand what exactly is a Midjourney prompt. So a prompt is Midjourney in just a text instruction that you provide to the AI. It tells the system exactly what you want to see. Every word in your prompt guides you to the final images, subject, style, mood, and composition. So anatomy of an effective prompt is simple, because it's just an order of the words that you use. And cinematic prompt typically breaks down into several essential elements. And the first one is the subject. It's a very essential element because it tells AI what is in the scene. For example, a lone cowboy riding. So the lone cowboy is the main subject of the scene. As we can see, he's the main hero of the scene, and no matter what is written apart from it is just an addition to the main subject. But I wouldn't say that the subject should be placed on the first place in prompt, because I always put the medium to the first as the first words of my prompt. So as you can see, a photo of a lone cowboy, this is how my prompt starts typically. In, I say, 90% of cases, it starts with medium, because I want Midjourney to understand that I want a photo or want an illustration or etc. So medium is always first, but then goes the subject. And of course, after that, you need to describe the scene as detailed as possible. But what's more important is that, firstly, I'm just saying that the subject should be doing this and that, and the more details you can provide, the better. So after you put the medium, you are going to tell about the subject and tell what the subject is going to do or doing. So here is my first example for you. We see a photo of a lone cowboy riding his black horse in the aesthetic desert with cactuses inspired by Western movies, sunset, golden hour, cinematic. So firstly, I discovered medium, then I added the subject, and then I'm explaining what the subject is doing in the details. So I could just said horse, but added black to specify what exactly I want to see, what kind of horse. In the aesthetic desert, yes, I could say that desert. I could say that just desert, but I wanted to specify aesthetic to make my picture look more Pinterest style. And then I added some more details, and after that, you actually can add some environment context, for example, sunset, golden hour, lightning, because I typically use lightning only in the highly aesthetic reels, let's say, not in just like a typical, for example, runway stuff that I do. I use lighting only in a few cases, but still it helps a lot. So you can also add the mood or emotion, dramatic. I always use cinematic in most cases. I just really think it works. Just look at these images. They really do work well. And you can also add the color palette, or you can add, for example, artistic style inspired by, well, you cannot just copy someone's style. That's forbidden. I never do that. But you can just tell Midjourney to get inspired by some style, because it's forbidden to use other artists as exact copy or just as exact reference. So you can also see in my other examples that I prepared for you that first, once again, it's a medium. What is it? Photo, whatever, an illustration. Again, there was a subject of an anime girl, and then I describe what the subject as much as I can, and adding what the subject is doing. So anime girl with long black hair drinking tea and playing PS5, her room with posters in the background. I typically use the background description after the subject, and here I decided to add the style, and also try to experiment, and because we didn't use it with the cowboy, but I tried to show you what it will look like if we add inspired by Ghibli. So here you can see how it created this prompt, and with this prompt I just added one more parameter It's one of my favorites. I started to use it since it first came out as a feature in Midjourney. It's X parameter. We will talk about this later in the next lesson about the parameters. So we'll go deeply into details about it. So I just want you to understand the prompt structure because it's easy, yet you need to memorize it once or try it several times and you will understand how it works, because this is the best way to tell Midjourney what you want with this type of prompt building. It gives you a very good results, so I definitely would recommend using it. So once again, it's subject, it's medium subject, then you add context, what subject is doing, then you can add style, then you can add background, and then you can add parameters that we'll talk in the next lesson. So here, once again, an ultra realistic photo of a cat running in a flower field, what a cat is doing with wildflowers. Try to add description, highly detailed. We use it if you ever downloaded my free Midjourney guide where I teach realistic prompts. This is what I highly recommend doing that. Just adding highly detailed, ultra realistic, and 4K, 16K kind of prompts. You will all receive this in the attached information to this lesson. And I hope that it will help you finding the right words to get the most realistic results. And finally, something with humans, because this is my favorite part of prompting. So once again, a professional studio photo, medium, that is photo made by a photographer of a gorgeous model. I love this word gorgeous. I edit very often to the prompts with beautiful women. So of a gorgeous woman for Vogue fashion magazine, and then I describe the girl. She has long hair, beautiful makeup with red lips, cinematic. So the more we will describe the girl, the more detailed she will be according to the prompt. But sometimes to get a very good results, it's actually everything that's needed. It's not that we need much to get the results of a highly detailed human skin. It's not necessarily when we will add human realistic skin texture. Sometimes it's even super good even without it. So we didn't add anything. I just once again add this type of parameter just to add stuff of the aesthetic side of the prompt to add it more, let's say, Pinterest vibes and beautiful colors, composition, etc. So this is the only reason why I love this parameter, and it gives more interesting results than usual. So once again, with humans, the prompt structure is very important in the beginning, precisely because here, just look at the comparison, just professional studio photo, gorgeous